although it has been a crazy year so far. And in addition to the crazy year we just had, that's saying a lot, right? But the reason why it's crazy is because there's constant changes happening. If you are a small business owner, you've probably heard about the bill that's out there. If you're an individual that has lower-ish income, you probably were up in ears or got the stimulus check that went out. It's been a lot, right? We're 3 weeks into this year so far, and it feels like it's probably been a few months. At least it has for me. We are, working on 1099s and W-2s and getting ready for tax season. And they did extend that out, so tax season actually kind of doesn't start until February. But what has happened is this COVID relief bill. So, with all of this stuff happening, I thought it would be a great opportunity to just talk a little bit about what you need to know, right? So, for one, this thing is not over yet. There's been talk about different strains, coming out, and the vaccine, is something that's newer to the market as well. People are leery about all of that. And then, in the midst of all that, you have to run your business because, like me, I'm sure you have to provide for your family, regardless of what's going on in the closed economy. It's something that's important that needs to happen in order to continue to move forward, right? Because we have to do that as business owners and people and individuals. We need to move forward and keep moving our businesses and our families and our lives forward. But what does that look like in the midst of a pandemic? What does that look like in the midst of this crazy time that we're living in? That's going on, almost a year of this craziness and all of these different things that are happening. What does that look like? What do you need to know? So one thing you definitely need to know is that you do need to keep moving forward. Find the silver linings of going forward and then start thinking about your future, your business future, your family future, what that looks like, because this isn't over. So we need to start thinking forward about what happens if this continues to move the way that it's been moving in that direction for the next 3 months, the next 6 months, the next 12 months, the next 18 months. What does that look like for you and your business? Is the current trend that you're on going downwards? Is it going up? Is it going maybe cross up and down? Those are some things that you should look at and pay attention to because that can really give you a basis for what you need to do next. There are relief options out there. There is funding, there are grants, there's all these different things that may be able to help you in addition to you just working on the core of your business. Are you pricing things properly? Are you marketing the right way? I did a Clubhouse chat today with Lori Highbeam. Hybe, excuse me, from and we talked about managing your money and marketing. And it was a really great chat because we just kind of started out, talking about budgeting, and she talked about content creation. And a lot of what was coming up was, how do I spend my marketing dollars? What should I focus on? Because that's huge, right? We have to focus our money in certain directions in order for it to make a difference. But sometimes that's not necessarily putting all of your money into a campaign. It could be doing a training for cold calling, or joining a networking group or something to that effect. So you really have to be a little bit mindful about where your money is going. But if you don't think about it and you don't plan about it, you don't have any direction to go in. You don't have anything to try or to navigate. And so when it comes to COVID relief right now, it's really, really important to think forward in your business, because that is what is going to give you the path that you should take to where you're going. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is that we have PPP funds that are available. If you missed the first draw and you were eligible, you're able to apply for that now. If you applied, got the first draw, and you used all of the first draw, you may be eligible for the second draw. And so that's one thing. There are also many different relief and resilience funds that are available throughout the U.S., as well as the EIDL from the SBA, which is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, which is available also. And they've extended that and they've reopened it. And you can't get any more than the $150,000, but you can apply for that, with the exception of a few of a few exceptions to that. But that was what it was originally for, was 150,000 that you can apply for the EIDL. And so that are some things that are available to you. And then in addition to that, there is talk of an additional bill that's going to be coming out with the new administration. So there's lots and lots of different changes that are happening. So one, you need to think about where you want your business, where it's going, and where it's heading. What if nothing changes in the next 6 to 18 months? What does that look like for your business? What do you need to adjust in order to make things work, in order to survive, in order to continue going? What does that look like? Two, look at your cash flow. You can have profitability, but without cash flow, you're dead in the water. And vice versa. You can have cash flow, but if it's not profitable, you're dead in the water. So you need to make sure that you have both. You need to understand those terms and be able to identify them within your business. So if you haven't spent time looking at your numbers and you don't have your numbers together, even if you're a startup, even if you're small, you don't have a lot going on, you should still be looking at those numbers, because those numbers are what's going to make a difference between you succeeding and you not succeeding, or succeeding slower, because we don't want to succeed slower. We want to go at the pace that we're capable of. So look at those numbers, crunch them, and figure out what those terms mean and identify them in your business so that you're able to see where you're going and how your numbers make up that difference. Three, make sure you're the different avenues of cash flow. Do you have a credit card? Can you get on terms with your vendors? Do you have a loan or a line of credit? Look at those kind of things, because those all affect your cash flow as well. And you want to be able to manage those pieces effectively. Are you eligible for PPP? Are you eligible for the EIDL? Those are things that you need to look at that impact your cash flow as well. So make sure you're taking a look at those, because that'll give you an idea of what you should apply or not apply for as well. Third or fourth, I think. Geez Louise, it is Monday. I'm like really out of it. But anyways, for four, make sure that you are considering the impact of this going, many months into the future. And so like planning for that. A lot of people got the EIDL money right away, and they have that sitting in their bank account, and that's legitimate. They can do that. They can have it sitting there as kind of a nest egg for just in case situations that may pop up as the year continues on and as COVID continues on, and as things continue forward. So think about those things as well as you're going. And then five, make sure you are looking at or hearing or following trusted sources of this information, because there's a lot of information that's been going on. And I've been in several different rooms with Clubhouse, and then just on the internet, on different social media platforms. Make sure whoever you're listening to is a credible source and knows what they're talking about and are backed up. And just to put my own credibility out there, I've been doing this a long time, but I'm also working and have been in all the webinars directly from the SBA. I have bankers that I talk to and that keep me updated with different things. So like I'm making sure that I'm on top of this information for all of you. But if you're not following me and you're following somebody else, make sure you're checking on the same information for them, because wrong information can really put you in a bad spot. And then in addition to all of that, right, because there's like all these things, the biggest thing you want to remember is that you have proper documentation for what's going on. So if you don't have your books in order, get your books in order, because that's really important to anything that's happening in COVID right now. You need to have your taxes updated. You need to have accurate records, because there are going to be audits for PPP and EIDL and all that kind of stuff. They put funding specifically in there for audits. So better believe that in the next several years, there will be audits involving these funds. So make sure you have proper documentation and systems set up so that you're able to quantify and qualify the things that you're doing with your business. Don't just take advantage because it's available. Like, be legitimate about it, because this is the kind of stuff that comes back to bite you in the butt and will eventually put your business out of business, or you're going to just owe thousands and thousands of dollars. And who wants to do that? Nobody. So make sure you have this stuff legitimate. If you have questions, please feel free to contact me, drop a comment, or text book to 414-310-7689, as well as go visit my website, which is www.sidekick sidekick-accounting.com, sidekick-accounting.com, for more information and to set up a consult for how we might be able to help you. We're doing COVID consulting, which basically means we'll apply for the loans that you or funding that you want. And then in addition to that, we will also be there to help advise and guide and look at all the different changes. Make sure you have the documentation in place from the get-go, so front end, not back end. We're working on that process from the beginning of the process so that you are legitimate in what you're doing. And then in addition to the COVID consulting, we're also doing tax planning, which is my favorite thing to do now because I'm helping businesses save money, keep it in their pockets, and help their families and their communities and their futures, which is what we all want at the end of the day. So use your business to work for you, not against you. Use this time as an opportunity, but do it smart, do it the right way, and keep going, keep pushing through. We're going to get through this just like any other situation in any moment in business. There's always something. This is another something. It's just this is something that's affecting everybody else. So keep going. Here for you. Please let me know if you need me. Otherwise, stay tuned for more updates as I get them. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.